Welcome to Maverick Minds, a podcast supported by Lone Star College-Montgomery and Comcast, where we explore ideas that shape our future. On today's episode, we talk about the music department, upcoming events, how they're celebrating students' excellence, and how you can get involved. Hello, everyone. This is Giancarlo on our third episode of Maverick Minds. Today, I'm here with a very special guest. I have Reese with us, the chairman of the music department. Can you tell us, Reese, a little about yourself so that our audience can get to know you a little better?
Yeah, of course. I'm Professor Reese Burgan. As you mentioned, I'm Department Chair of Music and Dance here at Lone Star College-Montgomery. I'm a classically trained saxophonist, although I can definitely hang with some jazz every once in a while, when the moment calls. I'm also the director of bands here, and I work with the symphonic band and the jazz ensemble, and I'm just excited to be here to talk music with you.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. And we got a very special topic. We're going to talk about the music department. And I have some couple questions for you, Reese, here. And the first question would be, what makes the music department at Lone Star College-Montgomery unique for students who want to study music?
Yeah, that's a great question. We offer an Associate of Arts in Music, which readily transfers to universities and can lead to a Bachelor of Music in Music Education, music therapy, music performance, and many other avenues as well. What makes music really unique and special here at Lone Star Montgomery is that we have what's called a program accreditation through the National Association of Schools of Music. It's basically a certification that says that, yes, we're teaching to the standard and rigor and performance of our four-year partners, which is really amazing. I personally, though, I think the most unique thing about our program is that we've set ourselves up in a way to where we can serve a really diverse set of students. Of course, we have traditional college age, fresh out of high school music students, but we also have a growing dual credit population. Oh. We have, in some cases, we have adult learners who are, a few of our students already have bachelor's degrees in other things, and they've had a full career and they're retired and they're coming back to learn music and they want to get to a professional grade.
That's awesome.
And so they're like, they're going through the Associate of Arts in Music because they just love music. And so we've really tried to create an environment that is welcoming of people from all walks of life. Sure. And I think that just reflects music itself and that it can bring everybody together.
Absolutely. I've been not many times, to be very honest, to the music department, but I know you guys do a great job there. I've seen one. I know there's a music club, and they go also on the different events that we have here at Lone Star. They be playing. They're incredible. People are rocking there. So I find it very cool that we have something like that to offer here to our students at Lone Star College, Montgomery. A follow-up question would be, what kind of performance opportunities can students expect while they are in the program?
Well, many is the short answer.
Yeah, sure.
But music is a living human phenomenon, right? And so it's like something that we're always doing as musicians, is performing. And a big part of what we encourage our students to do as well is to support each other and attend performances. And as part of that, and as part of the broader mission of the college, we also have formed community partnerships. We bring in guest artists, and we offer our facilities to local ISDs. For example, there's Conroe ISD right now is many of their high schools are going through auditorium renovations. And so they're reaching out to us and saying, "Hey, can our choir perform in your recital hall?" Absolutely, So, Lone Star College-Montgomery is a great place for students to perform in ensembles, to perform solo, to attend and hear world-class guitarists, for example. I actually did a rough count of about how many music events that we have. And if you include community ensembles coming in to rehearse and all the preparation that goes into it, we host somewhere on the number of about 250 events a year.
Oh wow,
Um,
250.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
and that's including summer where nothing happens.
Oh wow. All right.
So yeah, we stay pretty busy, but but it's because music is alive.
Of
It has
course.
to, like, it's almost like a heartbeat. Like, it has to keep going.
Yeah. What you would say one tip? This goes off script, but what's a small tip that you would give to someone that maybe has stage frighting? How do you call it? Like
Stage fright.
yes, stage
Yes.
fright. What's something that works? Because being performing can be sometimes scary for many people, and I guess that's something that they have to lead. But what's a piece of advice that you would do uh, talking about performing?
Yeah, that's a big one, and it's actually it's a critical part of the training that
Mm-hmm.
any great music program gives their students is how do we handle that stage anxiety, and the short answer is like if there's any tip to give, it's like just go do it, like do the thing, because if once you do it enough times, then you start to get that experience, and you learn yourself, you learn how you react to different things,
For sure.
and and the other thing that, especially in an academic context, that it's students struggle with the fact that they're going to perform and there's a grade attached to it, and then they go out into the world and the grades aren't happening anymore,
Mm-hmm.
although you're not getting like a report on how you did and all
Yeah.
this, and now it's like harder to read the room. And the thing that we just remind students is, when you go to perform, you have an audience that's there, and they chose to come there because they want to hear you play.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually a really supportive environment. But I think that we get on stage and the bright lights turn on, and we feel like we're under a microscope. And there's some truth to that, but the reality is we miss that. Oh, I have something to say. What I say matters,
Yeah. For
and
sure.
the people who are here want to hear it. And so, yeah, I would
Absolutely.
just encourage anybody with stage fright, just it sounds really glib, but I promise it's not. Like, just go do it.
Get
Yeah,
the job done.
yeah, and have fun and enjoy the process.
Absolutely. Well, if you're planning on having a presentation or performance, that's a great tip that you got in there. So another follow-up question, going back to what we were talking, is what ensembles or groups can students join, and do students need to be music majors to participate or not? For example, I'm all into drums. I used to play it back there. Do I need to be majoring on musics to join you guys, or maybe not?
Well, no, absolutely not. You don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
And as a drummer, you'll be happy to know that we have a symphonic band and a jazz ensemble.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll be sending you an email later on.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely. I'll be more than down.
yeah, but to answer your question, we have 5 performing ensembles. We have 2
Mhm.
choirs, an orchestra, a symphonic band, and a jazz ensemble. And you do not need to be a music major to be a part of these ensembles. In fact, we welcome non-majors into our ensembles. It's one of the strengths of the community college that
Mhm.
we, you know, it's in the name. It's community, right?
For sure.
And we, we're not all like partitioned off in our own little boxes necessarily. Just as an example, in my symphonic band, I would say that probably about a little bit more than half are non-major students.
Oh wow, that's a good
Yeah,
number.
and I have two adult, no, 3 adult students who just every semester they're there just because they love to play. And I also have 2 other professors in the ensemble as well. Um, and all these people from all these different walks of life just come because they love to play. They
Absolutely.
love the experience of rehearsal. So no, absolutely, you do not need to be a music major, and the uh, the ensemble counts as part of the performing arts, the creative arts
Mhm.
credit.
That's
as
great.
well.
So
So
I might give it a shot.
yeah.
So, and because I also have some friends here at college that, for example, they really know how to sing, and they're like, "Oh, should I join? Should I not? Do I need a major? Do I not?" So
Mhm.
that's a major question that you just answered. So that's absolutely great. Our follow-up question will be, what has been one of the most memorable performances, concerts, or student achievement for the department recently?
Oh wow, that's a tough one because
I can't
um,
imagine.
I love that it's hard for me to pick one.
More than
Um,
200, you know?
right? Um, no, there's just such our students are so great.
Hmm.
They're very dedicated to their craft and they're doing amazing things. We since this we happen to be recording right now at the end of concert week. On Tuesday, our jazz ensemble just gave a tribute to Gordon Goodwin, who was
Okay.
the famous saxophonist and arranger. He lived in L.A. Most people probably have heard his music through the soundtrack to Incredibles. Um, and he passed away in December, and so every other concert we play a Gordon Goodwin chart. So,
Oh,
so I looked at the players in the ensemble, and I was just like, we've got to do a whole concert about him. And they're
wow.
like, yeah, we have to. And his music is hard. So that
Challenging.
it was very challenging. Yeah. But they knocked it out of the park. So that was kind of a banner concert for us. Our choirs just performed last night, and they
Okay.
did a stellar job. They just continue to sound better and better and sing just beautiful music that is really moving. Um, yeah, and right now our students, because we're in March, are wrapping up their transfer auditions, and so we'll start hearing back in April about who got scholarship offers where.
Oh,
One
that's
of our
exciting.
yeah one of our students actually their university my they got an offer for Frost School of Music in Miami,
Oh, wow.
which is a really big deal.
Hmm.
Um, but gosh, there's just so much to choose from. I mean, our students get published in academic journals, and they're some of them are recording and releasing things on SoundCloud and all this stuff. So
That's
yeah,
great.
it's pretty amazing.
That's absolutely great. Um, it's really awesome to see our fellow students succeed, right? There are different platforms. So talking about platforms, do you guys have like a YouTube or somewhere that our audience can listen maybe to the jobs you guys are doing, or not yet,
Yes and
or the
no.
live
We're
performances?
limited in what we can post because of copyright.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine
so
that. Yeah.
that is something that we are working on.
Hmm.
But we do have a YouTube channel where we've posted some things in the past. But our main kind of outreach platform is Lone Star College-Montgomery Performing and Visual Arts on
Shout out
Facebook.
to them.
Yeah, shout out, right? Oh yeah, we're on social media right now, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, is this where I say like and subscribe?
Sure, we can say that.
But that's the name of the page is Lone Star College Montgomery Performing and
That's perfect.
Visual and Performing Arts. I said it
All
backwards.
right, so yeah, you guys know you can check them out, see their work, and yeah, that's perfect. Got another question for you. Along those lines, I believe the music department is preparing a special first time concert in April, right?
That's right.
Could you tell us, please, what this special concert is and how can students get involved? Because that's a lot of that's a very frequent question that we get asked is, how can I get involved, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're really excited to launch our first ever area honors recital, and this is an opportunity for high school students.
Okay.
And high school choir, orchestra, band students um, who are performing at a really high level, and they want a really nice performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're inviting students from our partner ISDs and beyond that hey, on April 24th, we're gonna facilitate a public recital that they can come sing or perform in, and a lot of high school students are taking the next step, and maybe they're going going to go into music at the collegiate level. Maybe it's Lone Star, maybe it's somewhere else. But it's like, if they are going into music, this is a fantastic opportunity to kind of like add a line to the old resume,
Oh, for sure.
but also have a really just nice performance and feature our recital hall, which is a world class facility.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's part of a broader outreach. We want people and organizations in the community to know that Lone Star College-Montgomery's, that our Department of Music is here to help,
For sure.
to be that facilitator, to be part of what's going on, and that I said it before, and I guess I'll say it again. Music brings everybody together, right? Yeah,
It does. It
and so it
definitely
can bring
does.
us together with the community as well.
Absolutely. What would you say to someone that's thinking about studying music, but or majoring in music, but they're not really sure if that's their path? How would you encourage them?
That is a question that I hear a lot. I'll answer that, but first, I just realized I didn't answer the second part of your last question, which
Hmm.
was how do people sign up for that recital?
Yeah. How
Yeah,
can they participate,
yeah.
basically?
So if anybody who's listening to this is interested in auditioning for the area honors recital, you can go to the Lone Star College Montgomery Music website, and you'll be able to find the link to register for an audition there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So they can audition, right? They can.
yeah,
All
hmm
right.
yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah. Um, but so the question of how, for a student who may be considering music, and they're on the fence about it, how do they make that decision?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's a big one. So my own journey was I was kind of that student. I actually an alumni of Lone Star College Kingwood.
Okay.
I won't say how long ago, but yeah, it. One of the reasons that I chose to go to Lone Star instead of immediately going to university was because I was unsure.
All right.
I didn't know if music was really kind of like what I wanted, but I also knew that I wouldn't know unless I just like jumped in
Exactly.
somewhere, right? There's no like online personality tests for music, or there's no standardized like framework that you can just go, oh well, if I got a score in this range, then I should be a musician, and
Yeah.
um, and to be quite frank, I was like, I had this feeling that maybe I wouldn't do it. And so I was like, if I'm going to end up spending money on classes that I don't need, I'd rather, be out, you know, not a little bit, but a medium bit instead of a lot.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Um, so that was one of the reasons that I started at Lone Star Kingwood. And of course I fell in love with even further in love with music. And
Hey,
then I
you're
was,
the
yeah,
chairman now.
and the rest is history, as they say. Um, you know, but if I could go back and change one thing about the way I approached that, it would be this. Um, while I was thinking about whether or not that was what I wanted to do with my life,
Hmm.
um, I allowed that in uncertainty to cause me to practice and prepare less and perform less. Um, and that actually set me back a little bit. So my biggest piece of advice, if there's anybody listening to this and you're thinking that maybe you want to do music in your life, um, like professionally,
Yeah, for sure.
um, as like a source of income, like there's not a moment to spare. Like practice, prepare, perform as if you've already made that decision, because there's going to be a moment that comes your way. There's going to be a door that is there in front of you,
Absolutely.
and you need to be ready to open that door. And so if the time comes to make that decision and you think, yeah, I do want to do this, but you haven't set yourself up for success, it's going to be a lot harder.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And right now, like we're living on a social media platform, like on an era of the social media platform, and I think it's even more easy, I would guess, to show your work to the public and make a song viral and go huge, right? Because
Hmm.
I've seen it with a lot of artists that they're very talented. They just like show up one song, or not even them, but someone recording them. And yeah, and right now social media it's huge. In if you are into looking into it, or maybe not sure, give it a try. Right now there are more, I would say it's more easy to get to know your music than it was maybe years before, right?
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, and ask somebody who's doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're on campus and you're thinking, oh man, like I this might be something I want to do. Don't wait. Like walk over to Building H. Come find me. Come find Dr. Murado, the director of choirs, the dean, somebody, and just ask the question.
For sure.
And yeah, and the other thing that I think is worth mentioning with that question is that if you are on the fence about music and you decide, oh man, I'm pretty good at math, I'd probably be more comfortable as a CPA. um, that's not a failure, right? And that doesn't mean that you have to stop playing or singing
Mm-hmm.
or however you interact with music.
For sure.
Some of the best musicians I've ever met in my life are like lawyers and doctors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, many of them are professional musicians, don't get me wrong. But, again, music is for everybody,
For sure.
right? So if you're on that fence, just go for it.
Give it a try.
Give it a try, talk to somebody, and you'll find out really quick if it's for you or not. Because music is for everybody.
Yeah.
A career in music is slightly different, right?
You
There's a
can
lot of
learn from zero, literally,
yeah,
right?
there's a lot of challenges that go with that, so it requires a very specific approach.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So we've discussed the music department in various ways, but let's refocus on its participation in celebrating students' excellence.
Mm.
Also approaching in April, right?
Hmm.
So, how is the music department participating in CSE?
Well, celebrating student excellence, for anybody who's listening and you're saying, what is that? It's this campus-wide initiative as part of well, we do it every year, but it's especially special this year because of the 30-year anniversary,
Mhm.
right? And so it's just this effort by the campus to really highlight what students are doing and doing well, and giving those students, yet another like a feature, like a moment in the spotlight. And so normally at the end of the spring semester, we have one big combined concert as kind of like,
It's
end
right
of
on
the
the corner,
year.
right?
Yeah, and so it'll be one concert, but it'll be orchestra, choir, jazz,
Mm-hmm.
symphonic, and maybe some chamber music and everything that we can just squeeze into what we hope is an hour and a half, and it usually ends up being about 2 hours. Um, this year we're doing it different because of the 30 year, and we're kind of tying it into celebrating student success. We're having what we're calling a concert celebration week.
All right.
And it begins on April 27th, which is that Monday of that week. So can I go through each date? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
good?
for
Okay,
sure.
yeah. I know you're dying to hear about it.
No,
Uh,
yeah.
so Monday, April 27th at 7 p.m. will be our composition showcase. This is a concert of all new works that were written by students. And this year, actually, you would love it because this year we are featuring percussion.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
so there'll be all different kinds of drums and maybe
That's
a few of the xylophone and
Okay.
other keyboard instruments. But it's all student works,
Mhm.
and it's part of their studies at the college. We do a composition project every semester. So that's on the 27th of April. The 28th of April, the very next day at 7:30 p.m. is our jazz concert. The Thursday, which I guess would be what would that be? The 30th, I think, of April is the symphonic band concert.
All right.
And then on Saturday, May 2nd, is our choir concert. And this is a community collaboration with the Woodlands Chorale. And they're going to be performing at Christ Church Methodist, I believe at 7 p.m. And they're going to be performing Mozart's Mass in C minor, which is a huge masterwork, and it's a really big deal, and it's a beautiful piece of music.
That's absolutely great. And how can our students or our community members join these upcoming concerts?
Yeah. So all they need to do is log on to the website, Lone Star College-Montgomery Music, and we have a link that says concerts and events,
Mm-hmm.
and you click through that link, and it'll take you to our ticket platform where you
All
can
right.
purchase
Well, you guys know
tickets.
already how to do it. And if you've ever been interested into music, or you were into music and you're like, hey, I should give it a try. You were shy of it, or maybe you just didn't know where to start. You now know, right? You
Yeah,
can, you can approach Building H. Fun fact about Building H, which I love, is that it's inspired on the shape of a piano, right?
it is. Yeah. So the roof of the building kind of has this like swerve to it that
Mm-hmm.
looks like a piano lid.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, something I just learned after working here for 10 years is that if you look at the side of Building H, where that parking lot is,
Uh-huh.
you'll see in the red brick, there's like this white brick, um, kind of these vertical lines, and they're grouped in twos and threes, which is the grouping of the black keys on the piano. So there's more piano reference on the side of the building. And it only took me 10 years to figure that out as a professionally trained musician.
All right. Well, you guys know we have very cool stuff on Building H. Give it a try if you've ever been interested in, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna solve many of the type of questions that you could have. So, before we close, how can our students or community find out the latest information about upcoming concerts, application deadlines, or other details about our amazing music department, other than, like, well, maybe the webpage, right?
Well, the webpage is kind of the main source.
All right.
But, you know, if anybody has questions about the department, the best thing that they can do is when you go on the webpage, look for my name or for Dr. Morato's name or
Mm-hmm.
for Professor Aaron Vierkant, who's our lead faculty. Look for our names on the website. We actually have a faculty and staff section of the website. And from there, you can send us an email directly. And we will definitely take the time to respond and answer any questions. And then, of course, following us on the Lone Star College Montgomery Visual and Performing Arts page is another great way to kind of stay connected. So
Absolutely perfect. Well, thank you very much, Professor Reese, for your time. We really appreciate it. And for the audiences listening to us, thank you for tuning. Thank you for staying. And again, if you're interested in music, just approach. You can email them. We have the web pages. You can just approach Building H. And yeah, we'll be happy to guide you and to lead you into your music, into the music that you're trying to pursue. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good rest of your week. Bye bye.